How did you put it last time, Christy? If you know the referee's name, they're doing something wrong.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to amorephillyunion, where hey, now you're an all-star. We are your hosts. I'm E.
I'm C,
Ball.
and C stands for confused.
Smash Mouth.
Mashmouth.
Oh my God.
But thank you for doing that because I was thinking, that spoken
Well,
word
now I can
lyrics.
put my hand in the shape of an L on my forehead.
There it is. There it is. Nicely done.
Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb.
So much to do, so we might as well get started.
There we go. Good segue. All right. Well, we got a bit of ground to cover today. We got two games to talk about. I don't want to say commiserate, but we got stuff to talk about. So let's jump right in. So,
Well,
um,
let's frame this properly. It's two games, and we got 4 points out of a possible six.
yeah, not bad.
Let's take the
Oh,
positive spin on that.
Could be worse. Could be better. But nah, four
I didn't know
points.
you were going into politics. Spin master.
No, I mean, yeah. So the Union hosted Montreal last Wednesday, and then they went down to Houston this weekend.
Yep.
Once again, as we've said multiple times, if somebody said 2 weeks ago, "Hey, we'll give you 4 points out of these two games," all of us would have taken it.
No,
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
Although, to be fair, I mean, on paper, the Union could have won both of these
could
games
have
and
gotten all
probably
six.
should
Yeah,
have,
Hmm.
since the Union are currently or going into both of these games was top of the league.
yeah,
I think that's the reason is that we're sounding a little bit,
Yeah.
well, especially since the lesser of the two results was the most recent one. So,
yeah.
but let's start on a high note.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
let's start with Montreal. Kristen and I were at this game. I feel like wasn't the weather a little threatening? I feel like
Yes, you were looking at your phone the whole time saying we're just about going to make it.
yeah,
We're just about going to make it. And actually it held off so we were good. But
yeah.
yeah, driving home was maybe a little more threatening.
Yeah,
So,
these soccer gods smiled upon us and
yes.
prevented, not a repeat of the Open Cup where we had to worry
yeah.
about weather issues.
Yeah.
But in terms of lineup, this game really felt like we were rolling out in full force. Um, you know,
Hmm.
Blake
Damiani
in
and
that.
Baribo starting up top.
Yeah.
Favorite buddy cop show right in the middle. Lukic and Danley. Indy started on the right. Quinn was on the left. And then we had Harriel starting on defense. Kanye Iglesias in the middle. Ogner out on the wing. And then good old Blake. So it really felt like, yeah, we were rolling in full force.
Yeah, in Montreal. I mean, I guess they wanted to do what they could to guarantee a uh, a good result there at home. But it was definitely good to see Blake back in net,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and it
So,
was good to see Baribo get a start too.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's I guess jump right in. The first kind of big thing in the game was uh, the Union scores first.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think, was the 37th minute. Thing I like particularly about this goal was this, in my opinion, this all started with Danley. And so, in fact,
Yep.
I think he should have gotten the assist because he just kind of jukes it there in the midfield and just takes on two, three defenders, goes down in the box. Of course, the ball bounces out. Quinn comes in from the right and then passes it in, and Barrio puts it in the net. So, um, kudos to everybody. But, my notes here, I said, Barrio scores, Quinn assists, and Danley sacrifices.
No, you're
yeah.
right. I mean, it was a real this goal was made by Danley.
Hmm.
And yeah, he did everything but make the pass or put it in the net.
Yeah. Yeah.
So often the story with Danley, it would seem,
Yeah. He's
just
just
out there working hard.
he's
It is
just,
it is the plight of defensive midfielders the
Mm.
world over.
yeah.
Mhm.
But then you got a guy like Danley where he's just such an engine and just going redlining, it feels like the entire game. Yeah. So Junior get on the board first. Arguably, because I remember we were at this game and I turned to Christy, I'm like, 37th minute? That's actually 8 minutes away from 45. So
Yep.
technically, is
That's
this
this is the landing.
this is landing time? Um, but there was
But
a
then there
good
turned out to
amount.
be what 2,200 minutes of stoppage time in the first half.
Yeah, something like that. It was like, how
Just
much was it?
about.
Like 5 minutes, something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, that's right. It's the second game that had the ungodly amount of stoppage
Yeah. Oh,
time.
Yeah.
Houston. Yeah.
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 Um, Also, I'll say like during the first half of the game, I was keeping my eyes on Herbers just to see if he was, you know, was he playing angry or he seemed pretty well tempered,
Yeah.
Pretty in control.
Yeah.
yeah.
What is it? The announcers had said something like that. Montreal, they're currently they let go of their coach this year, and they only have 2 or 3 wins on the season.
Mhm.
So it was going to be it's definitely an uphill slog. So I kind of wonder if Herbers is just kind of as much as he ever would phone it in for this
Mhm.
season, be like, all right, well,
Mhm.
I'm playing. I don't want to embarrass myself. I'm playing for a spot for next year, but I don't think they're expected to do anything this season.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's a bit of a wash unless they won everything from here on out.
Yeah.
So just before the half,
Hmm.
Montreal equalizes. Prince Owusu. If I got that wrong, I apologize, but great name, no matter how you say it. But yeah, so we went into the half drawing at that point with the first place team and the last place team.
I don't
And
understand how a man as big as
Yeah.
Prince Owusu can get lost on the field like he did. Because he had a couple of opportunities, and there were a couple of opportunities where he was like this one that he scored. There's no defender within
Mm.
3 yards of him, and it's like, guys, he's literally the biggest human in that section of the world. How do you not see him? How do you
Yeah.
not put somebody between him
Mm.
and the goal?
Maybe they
Yeah.
saw him and were scared. I mean, he
Well,
has presence.
that would be reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for
He,
sure,
li-
because he's a large man. I mean, broad
yeah,
and
Yeah,
tall.
he's a big guy. He's not built
Yeah.
like a typical forward.
No.
it looks like he could be playing linebacker for an NFL team or something like
Seriously. Yeah. He's just, I remember just watching, I'm like, this guy is just it's a big dude.
hmm
But he's fast, he's opportunistic.
And he's
Uh,
got good feet, as we
yeah,
saw from this goal.
yeah. I mean, he reads the game well. Um, I think he's got a lot of potential, a lot of potential. You know, if he's on a team that could really capitalize on his strengths, holy cow. Um, is there such a role as like a holding striker? Because I mean, you cannot push this guy off the ball.
Yeah.
He made me nervous this whole game.
But the cross was nice. It floated in, and somehow Owusu found a space between Macania and Wagner, and first time with his right foot just beats. The cross comes in from the Union's right side to Owusu, who's on the left side, and he puts it back across the goal to the far side netting and just beat Blake. Yeah, it was a good goal.
Yeah,
I
it
I think
was.
that's exactly what everyone around us said was like, well, it was a good goal.
It was a good goal.
Yeah.
It was a good goal. I don't
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
it
Like,
sucks that it was against us, but it was a good goal.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
really
So
was frustrating that neither Macania or Wagner had position on him. I understood a little bit why or not what did I say? I said Wagner and Macania. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Macania had another guy that he was kind of covering. He had two players. One, he had Prince behind him and this other player in front of him. And Wagner just didn't see that and diagnose it to help lend him a hand. But it just somehow or another, good strikers know how to make that right run to confuse the
Hmm.
defense.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It was one of those situations where, you make a defender make a choice and you're 60% to beating them. And they made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
So going into the half, um, drawing with with the last place team, felt a little bit like LA all over again, although I think we were losing to them at the half. Both games
Hmm.
that Eric and I attended.
Yeah, I know.
How
So
did it feel in the stadium?
I'm not overly worried. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm not overly, not like I'm heading for the parking lot,
Yeah.
Yep.
kind of
Yep.
moment. Wasn't like that. Or bewildered, but I think we were looking at each other like, this might not go the way we thought.
Yeah.
I know I was thinking like, oh, we said a lot of stuff on the pod.
There's no
Oh
way that's
boy.
going to come back to bite us in the butt.
No, that never happens. Never happens. So, but we didn't have to worry too much. Uh, because in the 50th minute,
Take off time in the second half.
That's right.
lo and behold, Mr. McCanya with his first MLS goal
Yeah.
and with an assist from Kai.
Yeah. And it was a very pretty is not the right word, but it was a well executed goal. That header down to the ground. It's goalkeeper can spring up as fast as your body will allow him, but you can only fall as fast as gravity will do it, and that's the same
That's
for
right.
everybody. And um, yeah, that downward header, yeah, there's just no stopping it.
And
0.8 meters
similarly
per
with
second.
Prince Owusu's goal, like Macania found space there. It's surprising with a mix like it was with the corner play. Somehow or another, Macania was a yard away from anybody and just got his head to it really well, with
Yeah.
lots of authority.
Was that Wagner with the corner
Yeah,
kick?
Mhm.
Right? Just off a Wagner quarter kick.
Well,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Wagner with the assist, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I assume if that's what they're crediting.
So I guess there was a, corner kicking for chicken or whatever it was in
Oh
the
yeah, that's
Yeah,
stadium.
there
right.
was.
What are the
Yeah.
rules for that? It's like so
I'm
I'm
not
so,
really sure how you claim it, but apparently Chick-fil-A will give away or give you a set of their chicken nuggets or whatever in recognition of the corner kick that turned into a goal.
that's right. I
Uh,
remember them announcing that. I want to cash in on that one of these days.
Chicken
I'm
for
not sure when
chicken.
they do it. I assume it's the Monday after the game,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like, it's not like you have a ticket to bring to the restaurant to show that you went to the game. So I don't know
It's
how that works.
Yeah, the redemption is harder to understand than the offside rule combined with when they schedule Easter each year.
Oh
It's like,
man. That was I I salute you. That was great. That was what an
uh,
analogy.
I was wondering that too. I'm like,
I want
what
to
is
get
there
that
to
cross stitched
show?
and hang on the wall.
Give me 2 Christmases. I won't make it for this one. Um, but yeah, it's just I was wondering that too because it's not like you carry around a paper ticket.
Hmm.
And also like, is there a region? There must be a region because we're probably outside of it.
Yeah,
Up here they'd be
probably.
like, there's a soccer team in Philly.
Mhm.
Really? So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, kicking for chicken. Um, yeah,
Now,
so
after it happened in, what was it, the 50th minute?
yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
I was still hoping that the Union were going to tie on another one or two goals. It would have been nice to just secure it, but not to happen. But either way, I guess, they come away with a victory. That's always a good thing.
Right.
Yeah, I think because Aura comes in, Baribo comes out, Aura goes in for Baribo, and you know, he again, he had a couple opportunities, and hashtag pray for Aura now because
He did.
this guy,
God bless him.
he can't get a goal sometimes, and I don't know what the answer is. It's it's got to be so frustrating as a striker. It's got to be so frustrating, and yeah, it just feels like the output does not reflect the input.
Mm.
He just
Yep.
hustles, hustles, hustles,
The
and
effort
does
is
not have the
there.
goals to show for it.
Yeah. Hopefully it turns around.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, Damiani didn't get a goal in this one either. So
No, I'm not praying
I
for him yet. He's still okay.
he's
Ura
up to
needs
4 goals for the season.
yeah.
I need a burn down chart on that.
But no, you're right.
Stretch of it.
Damiani or had a one kind of a breakaway that the defender just got a foot to it, pushed it wide, and then the header.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure how he missed that header. There was almost a, you know, would have been almost. It was almost harder for him to miss that shot than to put it on frame.
Yeah.
But he did. So hopefully he just keeps making those runs, keep getting into or into the right spot. Eventually things will fall his way, I hope.
Yeah. Law of averages and all that.
So one piece of news from that game, that was Nathan Harrell's 100th MLS appearance.
That's
Hmm.
right.
So yeah, but yeah, so which is just hard to believe somehow, but I guess not.
Yeah. I still think of him as being fairly new to the team.
Which is clearly wrong, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so from there on Saturday to Houston away,
Yeah.
obviously.
Nighttime game. Also
Hmm.
still really hot.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
Texas.
And it
Which
is Houston
it's
in July, so
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
unless you're
So
playing at 2 in the morning when it's, a balmy 80 degrees or whatever it might
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
And unlike their bigger sports complexes, not a domed situation. So,
You know,
Houston is where the astronauts go to train for a night mission to the sun. Christie's joke was way better. So let's keep going. Um,
so this was basically Philly versus Jack McGlynn.
yeah, I know. It's like, we talk about Benteke's DC United. I feel like this is Jack McGlynn's Houston Dynamo.
at
Um,
least according to the announcers for this game against the
Yeah.
Union.
Well, and I did put up a poll before this one, that pretty much said Philly versus Jack McGlynn. What do you think, basically? And basically the options were we've got this, we might have this, I don't think we have this. So right before the game started, 69% thought that we've got this, which was meant we were going to win. 31%. We might have this. Nobody thought we'd lose, which we didn't.
hmm
Didn't go quite according to plan, though, or expectations, I guess I should say. Good news. It's Allie in the 15th minute.
Yeah, this was pretty.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was this a recycled corner kick? Um, Ended up bouncing back to Glesnes, and I mean, we all know Glesnes can shoot, but this pass, I mean, Wagner, look out! That was a great pass. This what 45-yard cross that he put into the box, and it was good enough to confuse the defender, and the defender tried to chest it down. I assume he was playing it back to the keeper, and then Bedoya just barreling in and beating both the keeper and
Yep.
the defender to get the ball and roofing it for the first goal was well done by Bedoya.
Yeah.
Just at least from the camera's perspective, out of nowhere.
Yeah, seriously. I don't think the
Yeah.
defender knew he was there.
Mm-mm. No, and not within takeoffs or landings. This is in the 15th minute.
That's right.
So breaking all the rules, Allie. We like to see it.
It's always nice when the captain scores.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And just looking at the numbers for this game, it's funny because you would think that so much of it was in our favor. Possession was low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's always in our favor.
Other numbers are good or high. I don't know. So Allie had a moment of glory, which we'd love to see. And then
And then the referee remembered he had cards in his pocket.
Well,
yeah.
this is the refereeing in this game was a little weird, and I can't remember the order of this event. I think this was the first half. There was that foul just outside the goal, the Union's 18-yard box. It was with
Baffanello.
Raffanella, and he tripped up the guy, and the ref calls it a foul and a free kick right outside the 18 box. Then, the Houston uh, crowd and team are all calling for VAR. Then it goes to VAR because did this foul occur inside the box? Could this be actually a PK? And then the ref, and I got to take my hat off to him, right? To takes a big man to admit when they're wrong. And so not only did this foul not occur inside the 18 box, he actually pulled back. It was actually not a foul. It was a fair
Mhm.
tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Baffanello, he
Yeah,
made contact with the ball before making contact with the player,
yeah.
which I don't honestly think negates the fact that it's not like if you get the ball first, it's never a foul. But it was
Hmm.
pretty clear that Raffanello was fighting for body position there and stepped between the player and the ball.
Yeah,
So yeah, I agree that it was not a foul in this case.
yeah.
And yeah, the referee did make that call, but at that point, he had already given out, I think, 3 yellow cards to the Union at
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was particularly one to once again Ura in the 33rd minute that we all watched this not at any obviously not in Houston but all together, which is a bit unusual. But I was so none of us knew what that one was for. I was texting people
I mean,
when you were
whenever
watching
something
too.
like that happens, I think we all kind of assume there's probably some 4-letter words being thrown
I
around out there.
mean, sure, but I was just wondering if I had missed something.
I
Um,
agree. It was
but nobody
there
seems to
were a
know.
couple of questionable calls in this one.
He's got to swear in Danish. Nobody will know.
He's like, I'm
Anyway,
not getting goals. I might as well get yellow cards.
yeah, exactly. So there's some weirdness with that for sure. And then in the oh boy,
Yeah,
uh,
this was the game where we had a ton of stoppage time.
Yeah,
so so free kick, uh,
outside the
near
Union box.
yeah outside the Union box near the end of the first half.
Well, well, well
Uh,
into stoppage time.
well into stoppage time. And uh Bueno in the wall, as it were, jumps up to blocks it, and
Do do do
as
do 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 do
Paul
do 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 do
said,
do do
chicken
do
winged it.
bump 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 bump.
Yeah, fully chicken winged it and got himself. Yeah, defended it, but the handball call against us. So
Yeah, it was pretty cut dry.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know.
feels like a amateur move for this level, but knee jerks happen for a reason. So I guess. And who would take the penalty against us but one Mr. Jack McGlynn?
Yeah.
He did a good job.
He
Although
did.
I questioned the stutter step because according to the rules for a penalty kick, you have to keep moving towards the ball
Mm.
through
Mm,
the entire motion of making the kick. And I don't know that the run up necessarily counts on that, but if it does, then yeah, I wonder about these stutter step stuff things. And
Mm.
I guess that's one of the things that McGlynn does in his penalty kicks. He does that stutter step.
yeah.
But he certainly beat Blake. Yeah, this was
This
Rick.
was
Andrew
Rick.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he beat Rick cleanly,
Yeah.
powers it into the side netting and Now afterwards there was a bit of hullabaloo on the socials and online about the celebration from McGlynn. I don't know, did you guys see it where he runs over to the sideline and he kisses the Houston Dynamo crest and
Yeah.
stuff
Mm.
like that?
Yeah.
Mm.
It didn't bump me.
No,
Mm-mm.
I yeah, I guess the whole thing is it kind of disrespectful to his old club or kind of being a little antagonistic towards us. I didn't take it like that, I he was showing his loyalty to Houston, I guess, right? Which, we
That's
traded him and that's him. He's a
he's
Houston player now.
I'm Dynamo. That's how I took it.
Yeah,
He was just letting the fans know
yeah,
I play for you, I play for the club, I play for the
yeah,
Shield, and that
Mm-mm.
means something to me.
yeah. I and I didn't take it as being like a thumb
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
in at the union. It's just like in some respect I kind of it's the student has now become the master. Um, like I think he wanted to flex in front of the union because hey, why not? You could flex and be respectful and do it, and I think that's what a PK is. He didn't like put in the net and then like start making hand gestures towards the union. He just
Yeah, there was nothing crude
no,
about it. He
I,
just
I
No.
had no qualms. I
Well,
Now
mean,
you
I
know, and
do
it,
know that there apparently there was the Union when Bedoya scored did a Jack
to
McGlynn
the whole.
goal celebration,
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
which they didn't show on television.
No,
Yeah,
no, I know I saw it afterwards, but
And in the post game press conference, McGlynn actually made comment to him. He's like he saw them kind of poke fun at him like that, and so his goal celebration actually was him playing, poking fun back sort of at them,
yeah,
which I thought was totally reasonable.
yeah,
So
I can't get too wound up about it. I mean, he's doing more and better than
yeah,
there than he likely would have done in
yeah.
Philly. He's a young guy. I think when we traded him, Eric and I were sort of bemoaning it, and you said, Paul,
mhm.
like he's probably gonna get more playing time there because
Yeah, yeah. And he's
and he's
flourishing
doing
down there.
well. I mean, I keep seeing clips of McGlynn pop up, so
Yep.
I don't. I mean, I maybe there's something left over, but I also saw pictures of him with his teammates
Yeah.
after the former teammates after the game. So I don't really think, yeah, I don't think
Didn't
there's anything
didn't you
there.
sh didn't you show me a picture where he and Allie were standing next to each other
Hmm.
doing the McGlynn pose after the game?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And to
exactly.
me, it's just
So
like I thought it was all in good sportsmanship. Yeah, you're throwing a little, I don't say shade, but you're doing a little bit of trash talk. Not, I don't
Yeah.
even call it trash talk. It's like you're pushing buttons, but it's all done respectful, right?
yeah, it's fine.
It's healthy competition, I
There we
thought.
go. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine. I have no
Exactly.
problems with
And
it.
Christy bringing that up about like, given the current version of the union now, I mean, I know it evolved after McGlynn left, but like,
Mm,
if we could snap our fingers and bring McGlynn back, where would we put him, right? Because with Lukic and Danley in the midfield, like, that's not,
And
that spot's
Bueno,
taken.
the third Beatle there.
Yeah.
hmm
Like
Yeah.
what McGlynn would be the fourth, or
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know that we have a spot for him.
Yeah.
Although
But
McGlynn probably wouldn't put his elbow up during
PK.
Probably.
there is that.
Yeah.
Oh, who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe. We'll
Yeah.
see. Actually, we
Poor
won't
Choo
see.
Choo.
Poor
Yeah.
Choo
Poor
Choo.
Choo
I
Choo.
know. I shouldn't pick on him too much. It
Yeah.
just was like, oh, dude, what are you doing? But anyway, yeah. So no, I don't.
No.
Although I will say, Scoops was texting me during this and saying, was McGlynn mad when he left Philly? Looks like he was like kind of fighting with one of his old,
Apparently, there was a
something.
report that he wasn't. It didn't say, made. There was a report that made it sound like he was not particularly happy with how he got the news that he was being transferred. That it was very blunt,
Yeah.
Yeah.
very just kind of, I don't know about disrespectful, but very just curt.
Yeah.
Hey, you're getting traded. They wouldn't tell him where he was going, and then it was done, and he was out.
Yeah.
Now, I
Yeah.
get that, but at the same point, sometimes that's the best way to give that sort of
Yeah.
information to a player and just be like,
Mm.
thank you for everything. We really appreciate all you've done for the club. Best of luck in your future.
Like
And
it's the scene from Moneyball.
exactly.
Yep.
Now, that said, I mean, McGlynn is a homegrown, he's
Yeah.
got some good roots in this area.
Yeah.
He's done a lot for the club. He's really grown up in the club. it would have been nice to have had an
Yeah.
opportunity to, but I mean, it's like you said, it's like from the scene, it's the scene from Moneyball where baseball players get moved around like that at the drop of a hat, and
Yeah.
it's part of the big leagues.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
guess I think there's a middle ground
I
that
would
would
agree with you. Uh-huh.
be better than that because I do remember when Allie was shown the door and then they showed him back in through the door. But
Yep.
and that was supposedly a 6-second conversation that all by all accounts, and it wasn't pretty, which I can only imagine how unpretty that was. So, I mean, if they were willing to treat Allie like that, I'm sure that they
Yeah.
were even more willing to just for a kid, a
Yep.
kid, air quotes, who is just dollar signs to them. Yeah, yeah. So, but I would hope that's not against the teammates, just more against the insensitive admin that we have.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
balance, right? When someone's been at the club, especially they start it, the whole thing, it does feel like they are warranted some sort of
Recognition.
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
I mean, with all respect, if they came to CJ Oldney and said, "Hey, thanks for everything you've done, we're transferring you." I know he's been with the
Right.
club for a while, but his footprint on the club has was not as big as it was, say, like a Jack McGlynn.
He
Hmm.
But
had 99 games for the Union.
wow,
I
wow,
heard that, I think, on the free kick pod. They
wow,
were talking about that, and it's like, yeah, McGlynn was one away from hitting 100 because
Wow.
I think Harriel hit his 100th game
yeah,
in the
in
Montreal game.
Montreal, yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
And yeah, I mean that's a milestone. He was
yeah,
close.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I was saying, I didn't really bump on the celebration. I thought it was just good competition between the team, and
yeah,
McGlynn did what he needed to do, and to send it to send it to halftime tied up. Um, yeah, in the second half, things seemed to get a. I don't know if it was
Well, the,
refereeing or what.
there was a lot of weirdness because first of all, they kind of brought in the first team in the second half.
Yes.
So there was that. But then, yeah,
Well, they
there was,
also pulled some players for the All-Star game, like Glesnes came out, right?
yeah,
yeah, right.
and yeah,
McConaughey
this
came
wasn't one
in.
where he had a yellow card because I know we've talked about um, Carnell maybe being a little conservative when somebody gets a yellow card to get them out when he
Oh,
can.
that's right, too,
Hmm.
right? Because Glesnes
But
did
he
get a
didn't
yellow.
have one in
Oh, he
this.
didn't have one in this?
No.
Not in this. No, I think it was another recent game, but um,
And Glesnes came out, and
mhm,
um, Baribo also came in at halftime for Aura,
mhm,
if I remember
Yeah,
right. Now that might have
mhm,
been a yellow card sub, but it also may have been a pre-planned sub since Baribo is in the All-Star game,
mhm,
or at least
hmm
up for the All-Star game.
mhm. Yeah. So yeah, Makanya, Kai, Indy, Danley, Quinn, and did I say Ty already? Well, Ty, um, all came in the second half, and Quinn only in like well, I'd say the dying embers if there wasn't so much stoppage.
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so
And I think Bedoya came in for Indy. They swapped him around the 70th something minute.
no, you mean the other way around.
Oh,
Indy came in for Bedoya in the 75th
yes,
minute.
sorry, I had it backwards.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, there was still this organization.
So the two things I remember from really remember about the second half was the penalty kick that didn't happen and
Hmm.
the red card that did.
Yeah.
So the penalty kick that didn't happen ended up this was another VAR situation where the Union played the ball uh, into Houston's 18-yard box. The ball bounces around a bunch, bodies are bouncing off of each other, and then it looks like there's a foul inside the box during one of the pulls of the ball, and the referee calls a penalty kick, and then there's a call for a VAR. Plus, there's plenty of complaining from Houston players and such, and it ends up getting reversed and saying that there was a foul before the penalty foul that Harriel going up for the ball, coming down and landing on one of the Houston players
Oh,
actually fouled the Houston player that way. At least
yeah,
that appears to be the reading of what happened.
yeah,
And it just doesn't make any sense because, as Carnell actually talks about in his post-game press conference, he says, Harry goes straight up for the ball, and a defender clatters
yeah,
into him,
yeah,
and Harry gets called for the foul, and it doesn't make sense.
yeah, yeah. I think the refereeing in this game would fail the Julio test, where because
Hmm.
the issuing of cards felt a little irregular, but this foul
Hmm.
was another one, Paul, 100%. Like when you watch the replay, at least not for me,
Refresh people on the Julio test. Let's not
basically, if the
affect that test or
referees
anything.
are doing their job in such a way where you feel like it's affecting the game and they're not like kind of working in the background, they're not doing their job.
If you're noticing them,
If you're noticing them,
Yep.
exactly.
then they're doing poorly.
Yeah.
And what was it? How did you put it last time, Christy? If you know the referee's name, they're doing something wrong.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
But yeah, when
Yeah.
you watch the replay, it looks like Harriel's there. He's not moving left, right. He's just going up for the ball, and then the other guy came in.
Yep.
It, I was actually thinking they're gonna like actually reverse it and call the foul on the Houston guy, but
Hmm.
um,
Not so much.
not so much.
So yeah, that was frustrating seeing that penalty kick taken back.
And you weren't the only one who was frustrated because in the, get this, 90th plus ninth minute,
Yeah.
good God.
I didn't realize it was his second card, but I think
Yeah.
it was still a straight red.
Yeah, was it the second card? I guess it was, right?
It was definitely his, I mean, he
I'm
got a
looking
yellow
at the Union
earlier.
web page, and
And
they
it
say
says,
he got a yellow in the
okay.
74th.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah, because this doesn't, what I'm looking at doesn't expressly spell it out, but I remember it as being a second yellow card. So yeah, Frankie Westfield kind of lost his cool. And went head to head. I won't call it full headbutt because when I think headbutt, I think of Zidane. That's a headbutt.
Right.
But kind of, sort of like the two goats in a nature film kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
Right. With
Yeah.
an
And
unnamed
Ollie.
player, thank you, from Houston. They were sort of just, talking smack right in each other's faces, and Frankie
Yeah.
seemed to kick it off, and so he suffered the consequences because
And,
that's a
and,
no.
and Frankie just did a little bit of a thrust, and that was
Right.
enough to be the straight red.
Yeah, because
Yep. That.
and Ali did put his head against Frankie's initially. It wasn't like a full,
Mm,
like you said, Christy, ram headbutt, but then I think
It
Frankie
was head
had,
to head, and they were
yeah,
pushing on each
no,
other.
more
In
like that
fact,
locked in combat kind of
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
it
after
was,
after Frankie gets the red, you can actually see him saying he got it in my face and saying, well,
yeah,
Frankie, that doesn't matter. You're not allowed to thrust
yeah,
your head at the other player.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's one of those moments where you remember that Frankie is still under 20 years old and has some growing up to do.
So what do the announcers say? Something about like it's a 19-year-old make a 19-year-old decision.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Hmm.
Yeah,
know?
I think you're right.
Which, side note, we were watching with the Houston commentators, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yes.
So this is, on the advice of a friend of the pod, Nate.
Yep.
He has started listening to, regardless of whether it's our guys or the other guys who were home or away, the local commentators. And I gotta say, I mean, these could have been neutral commentators in a way. I didn't think they were
They
that
were not
overly.
egregious. Yeah,
No,
you're
they were
right.
not at all. And they did a good job.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. I think that might be the way to go going
Yeah.
forward because, well, we know my problems with Apple. We don't need to go
I
through
think
that
only
again.
if I knew that Higginbotham was doing the
Mm,
commentating from
Yeah.
Apple. Otherwise, I
yeah,
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Maybe
expect,
Taylor, but we don't really get him.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I even expect a certain level of home field bias from home announcers,
Mhm.
but it could still be done in a way where it's not like, you know, rubbing our nose in anything. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was just a dumb thing. Well, I was gonna say kudos to Frankie, aka Francis, uh, that when the guy put his head kind of into his face, he didn't do the thing where he dropped to the ground holding his head like he just been like hit by a 2x4. He kind of if you're gonna go one way or the other, I'd rather have you kind of headbutt back.
Yeah.
The red card, yeah, we could do without, but you know what? I don't know. It's like,
Well, at least there was actual contact in this one, as opposed to what was that one that we watched years and years back? I think it was Clint Mathis or something like that. Literally, there was no contact. The guys were like a yard apart. The ref just wasn't looking in the direction. And the
yeah,
one forward grabs his face and falls to the ground.
yeah,
And it was obviously before
yeah,
VAR.
exactly. Yeah,
And the defender got a red
yeah,
card for never even touching the guy.
yeah,
But no, I mean, and just talking about this referee, by the way, recording this on Wednesday night, and the All-Star game is going on, and
yeah.
guess who's refereeing the All-Star game?
Is it the
Yeah,
ref from this
the
game?
ref from the Union game from this weekend.
Right.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah,
He just looked like, I don't know, like
he
it's
looks
like,
very healthy. You
yeah, he's
can
like this
definitely
like
tell
New
he spends time in
Yorker.
the gym.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the refs have a special like you know, arm routine they all do because they just all come out looking just absolutely ripped. Like they're just totally from the shoulder down, they're just absolutely swole.
Well, they don't have to take PED tests, so if they're using stuff nobody needs to know about.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. They never skip arm day.
They always, it's only arm day for refs. They do like a bunch of push-ups before they come out in the field.
Arms and shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
So, yeah, so
4 points, baby. 4 points.
4 points. We'll
points.
take it. It's fine. It's fine. That
Uh,
does mean we are in third now.
yeah, we are in
It's
third.
crazy,
So,
right?
right. Yeah. It's
It is
tight.
tight for the supporters shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with sitting in third place. It's kind of like
Oh,
uh
absolutely.
to use the Tour de France reference. It's like we don't have to be the guys out in front doing all the work and let everybody just coast behind us. We want to be in the front of the pack, but we don't necessarily need to be at the out in
We don't need to
front.
be breaking what do they call it? I was going to say breaking
Yeah,
wind, but
break
that's
them.
not it.
Yeah, uh, exactly. So yeah, I mean, we are just 1 point behind Cincinnati. We're tied with Nashville. It's end of July. This is okay. We still got August and September to kind of get out there into the front before the end of the regular season.
Yeah, it's crazy seeing how strong the Eastern Conference is, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
That's for
based
sure.
entirely on points per games. I mean, what is it? The top one, two, geez, the top 5 games in the East, or the top 5 teams in the East have more points per game than the first place team in the West.
So yeah, so third place. Um, Kai now has 60 career assists and got a
Yeah,
late
man.
call up to the All-Star game that's happening as we speak. So good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well deserved.
Now, did
Well
he
deserved.
find out about that? That Chris, you showed me that video with Allie's on the plane. Is that how Kai found out?
Yep, that's how he found out. And to my delight and surprise, Allie announced it over the intercom as Kai
Yep.
Wagner.
Ah,
I'm like, come
that's all
on,
right.
man.
At least,
I just spent the whole podcast complaining about the mispronunciation of Kai's last name.
How
least
cool
it-
would it be though if he did that on purpose because he listened to our podcast
Ah,
Oh my
about
God,
it
I'd
and they
love
were
it.
talking about it?
It's fantastic.
he would have said Wagner.
Yeah.
Not you too,
We'll
Allie.
take it. We'll take it.
It
I
would.
know.
I think it would have been even funnier if he had said K Wagner.
Yeah, yeah. Just really, really go to town if you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So there is a small potential storm cloud that could pass us by on the horizon, and that is there are some vague rumors of Ty being traded.
Yeah.
Or
Even
sold.
worse, traded, sold to sold sounds so, yeah, you're right. Traded is
Yeah, it
not
sounds
necessarily
troubling.
accurate, but sold always
Hmm.
sounds weird. Um, but worse yet, possibly to one of the New York teams, which would
Yeah.
really be like, yeah, just pour the salt right in.
Yeah.
And this
But
is from We the Union,
it's
correct?
not, no, I've seen it multiple places now. But none of them are sources that I consider definitive. Please see Tom Bogert usually.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So,
usually pretty good.
but I get a lot of, suggested things. So that's why I say it could pass us by. This might just be a lot of talk. This might
When
not be
does the
any.
window close? Do you know?
August,
All right. So is
sometime in
there still
August.
time? Yeah.
I don't believe it. I do think
Yeah.
that it's just, you know, people stirring, sharing rumors.
Hmm.
Because I only read it in the We the Union thing, and there was ties. It was a Israeli language article
Mm,
quoting Ty's agent, and I still hold by that one commenter that said, well, it wouldn't make any sense for him to go play in New York, who is lower
right.
down on the table than Philadelphia if
Yeah.
he wants to get a move to Europe,
Right.
which makes a ton of sense to me. Now, I get it, it's playing in New York, but he's already in the mid-Atlantic, so it's not like it's that big of a difference
Yeah.
as far as where he'd be living.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Here's the
at
thing,
this
though.
point, unless somebody respectable comes out and says that these are legitimate rumors, I don't believe them. That's just me, though. You guys are
To
welcome to
I
jump
don't.
on that conspiracy train and ride it wherever the tinfoil
Well,
hats go.
I think I was pretty clear in saying it's just a rumor.
Yes, you were. You were absolutely
Yeah.
I
clear
did
when
was
you
not,
said that.
yeah, I was not trying to say that this is absolutely happening or anything like that. It is simply a rumor. Uh, Rumors are often false. But yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes if there's it could just be the same people repeating from one that is Israeli language report. And I
Yeah.
think you're right that it doesn't make a lot of sense for him to go to one of those teams. Here's the thing that does make me wonder if it's not up to him and they're offering a lot of money. We have
Hmm.
seen them sell players out from under us before for a lot of money that they then apparently turn into ones and roll around on because we don't know what happens to it.
No, that's a
So,
very good point. Like the only player that they've really sold to another Eastern Conference team was Gazdag. Otherwise, it's always been to a Western Conference team. I'm thinking
right.
of what's his name to San Diego. But I'm still wondering what they're going to spend the Gazdag money on, and if they were to do the same thing with Baribo, who knows what they would get as far as money for him, and where is that money going? How is it going to show up on the field and give the Union a better
Ye-
chance of winning a title?
Is it, or do their pockets go all the way down to their,
Those are socks.
I don't know, hem of their iron jeans? I don't know. Um,
That's
Really not sure. So,
I
that's the only thing gives me pause, at this point. But like I said, hopefully
yeah,
hopefully it's nothing.
I think if it's there's like two well there's always the who knows factor, right? Who
Right.
knows? I could see if there was some external pressure for Baribo wanting to go to New York, family, I have no idea, right? It's a big city, and okay. So that's one thing that in terms of a negotiating position, um, you know, Philadelphia Union, we it's hard for us to counter that aspect of things. So if there's some family, personal reason why he wants to move up to New York, that's one thing. And then the other thing is money. I think if a big enough offer came along, Ernst Tanner would be like, yeah, let's do it. But I'm going to also go on the side of until I hear otherwise, I can't see this being a smart move. Like his contract
Right.
is through 27, 26. Um, so I mean, of course, he could be bought out. That's fine. But like, he's such an integral part of our scoring machinery, and we are in a we are a heavy contender for supporter shield.
Yeah,
And
certainly
it's
for postseason play.
yeah, like why do we want to touch this running clock? Of course, enough money to buy a brand new running clock, sure. But it don't know
Yeah,
if it is.
I can't let go of the thought of if there's enough money, it won't matter
Yeah,
because apparently
yeah.
we are hoarders like that. I don't know.
I
Well,
I
hey, it
don't
would
know.
be more playtime for Chris Donovan
yeah. Or
Yeah,
yeah,
so let's
maybe.
hope it doesn't.
or Marcus Anderson.
Yeah. But it's like this is the
Yeah,
guy who's getting us the goals. Like
I know.
I,
Well, it's interesting you say that because on July 17th, they had the ribbon cutting for the WisFist Sportsplex, and I already said this to the guys beforehand, is not a great thing for me to have to say because I will be hissing all over the place, WisFist. But
was
um,
this.
and I was reading the press release before this, and it's the new home of I guess yeah, new home of Union 2 and community space and a restaurant and camps and the academy will be based
There's
there
gonna be a
and all that kind
restaurant
of
in
stuff.
this thing?
For the people who are
Oh,
playing and visiting, I guess not. I don't think it's going to be. Maybe it'll be somewhat open to the public, but I think it's more for people who are using the facility. But um, and it made me want to ask: Are we a team that wants to win? And once again, we're back to it. Are we a team that wants to win tournaments, or are we a team that wants to make players to sell to Europe so those pockets can get lined?
right. Is it a
I mean, I think it's a good thing. I'm not trying to sound like the Sportsplex is a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Um, Don Garber even came out for it, if that makes you feel good. But uh so it is a big deal. It's a great thing. It's good. Hopefully it will truly, of course they're saying it's gonna be good for Chester. Hopefully it really will be.
yeah.
I don't we all know how those sports things can go. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But but that aside, it did, I guess the little niggling voice in the back of my head was like, yeah, but does this mean that we're an academy team and we don't care about
Yeah.
championships? I mean, this season has not shown that has not borne that out. We're doing well. So maybe I need to let it go. But it's was wondering if you guys had any thoughts about that. Again, not trying to be negative about the sportsplex. I think it's a good thing.
I think it's kind of like, so it's like an ecosystem, right? If there's a lot of prey, then there's not enough predators. You're going to start getting, overpopulation and either they start dying off or just more predators just come along and then they call the herd. And then vice versa. If there's too many
Are we
predators.
still talking about the cat?
So basically what I'm trying to say is this, right? Boiling it down to really simple terms, right? As an organization, a team, you could just be a pure academy team. Just you got this system set up where you're generating young players that get a lot, they're very accomplished. You sell them off, you make money, and you just keep that process going. And that system will make you money, right? I don't know if it in terms of overall revenue, if it's a lot, I don't know, but it's a steady income. And so you're not worried about winning. You're just always worried about fielding a good enough team to keep advertisers and all of them and fans interested. But you don't worry about winning because winning's expensive. And so you just have this kind of
Hmm.
mid-level approach, but the whole thing is about making money. But the thing is, I don't think that's sustainable because ultimately, like if you never win, or better, look at it this way if you make all this money and you keep making it money and you're making money, eventually you get to a point, I guess, or you got all this money, you got to do something with it, you know? Um, and I got to think that they are looking, just all this infrastructure they're building. I have to imagine they're looking to get a sustained system in place where they are contending.
Hmm.
But at some point, you gotta commit at some season, And I mean, this season, why wouldn't you? We're so close.
Hmm.
Um, that was a lot of talking. I don't know if I answered the question. So, I mean, hopefully, this is just part of the plan to build a sustained winning team. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, is this the center that Gazdag built? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe they spent the 4 million or whatever they got for Gazdag for this. Um, it could also be that this is what they feel that they need to be a world-class club. They need these
Mm,
sorts of facilities
Hmm.
that,
hmm
you know, show young, highly talented players that they take production and performance and improvement extremely seriously.
Sure.
And I would also point out that the Union are in third overall
hmm
in the
Yeah.
supporters
Yeah.
field. Like
hmm
this is working. This is
Yeah.
not, it's not like they're doing this and they're not getting results
Yeah.
in the league.
Yeah.
Right.
I think if they
I
go
I
ahead.
get the concern. I think it might be a little not unwarranted, but a little premature, maybe.
hmm
Um, but I don't know that we're ever going to see well, not ever. I assume eventually we'll see the Union drop $30 million on a player, but
hmm
Yeah.
not anytime in the next 5 years. I don't think we're going to see that.
Yeah.
So it's
I don't care if we do that. I don't want to be funding Jay Sugarman's academy to sell off players to Europe or other MLS teams. That's what I don't want to be doing. And that's me being a bit cynical, I realize. And you're absolutely right. We're in third. We've been in first quite often this season. So, as long as that remains an emphasis, I'm okay with it. I just don't want to, I don't know. I don't want it to become
that
a
is
side
I would
issue.
100% agree with that.
Hmm
I don't want to be the academy that pays for Jay Sugarman's 27th house
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. I think if the
or his
union
12th helicopter landing pad, whatever it might take. And hey, Sugarman has done all right for the team.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those ones who immediately clamors for him to be selling the team
Selling
all
the
the time.
team. Yeah.
But I get the frustration with people. I share some of it, and I don't think it's unwarranted. So
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just not to the level that it sounds like you are yet, Christy. And that
Yeah,
might just be
I
because I'm a
don't
little
care. I don't
slow.
ever want a Messi. I really don't. I don't
Yes,
care if we do that. I don't think that big names mean big wins. I really don't. I think it's more about the team and I've gone over this before, so I won't belabor it, um but
it
you
would be
do
nice to
win
have an
games and you do
Evander
wonder.
on the team, though. What's his name? The guy that Columbus had 2 years ago. There's a couple of just all out
Mm,
attacking midfielders that just
yeah.
know how to make those passes. That
hmm
would be awesome to have
hmm
on the Union right now.
Just somebody who is, when they're on the field, they strike fear. I don't care if
Ex-
they have a big name or not. I mean, they've been saying we've been looking for a striker for God knows how long. I mean, and we kind of do we have, I mean, Ty, yeah, sure, okay. But like that's good. But I would rather have multiple people who can score goals because if you have one guy and he's out of commission, that's a problem too, right? But I don't know. I'm not saying it's a thought more than it's a actual conviction.
Fair.
Yeah.
That is totally fair.
Yeah.
I think if they trade Baribo in this window to like a New York team,
We riot.
be right. I think that would point in the direction of they're focusing more on making money. Because I feel like that would be a mistake to trade away Baribo at this point, right?
That's the
At this
canary
point
in
in
the
this
coal
in the
mine.
year. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what is Damiani and Aurora going to start racking up goals? I mean, I really wish they
Sweet
would. I mean,
Jesus.
if we had
Is
another
Anderson
prolific,
all of a sudden going to turn into a terror?
yeah, you know,
I'm not even going to joke and say is Donovan going to do it because I don't think that's going to
yeah,
happen. I mean, Donovan has his skills.
yeah,
Racking up tons of goals doesn't seem to be one of them
yeah,
at the moment.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know. Of
yeah.
course, we didn't know what we had in Baribo until who was it that got injured? Was it Aura?
Gosh, I don't know. Somebody got injured, traded.
Well, this is
No,
more
you know
than
what? It
two
was
weeks
when
ago.
Carranza got traded.
That's right. It was when
That's right. Yeah,
Carranza got.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
I agree
Yeah.
with you though. I would be I, I would be extremely unhappy if he went to a New York team. I would be unhappy if he left for anywhere. But like, just the idea of giving somebody who's that good to, or not giving, but trading or selling or transferring a player that good to a New York team would bother the heck out of me as a
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if he went to West Coast, if he went to Seattle, I would take it better than if he went to New
Mm-hmm.
York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Especially
not
since
to LA. Just not to LA. Either a team.
Oh man.
All right. So
All
we've
right.
beaten
Well,
that horse.
I think we
yeah,
have. So we have a game. Well, MLS is on as we speak, so
the All-Star
we
game.
can't the All-Star game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did I just say MLS? Yeah. I
MLS,
knew
that's
what I meant.
yeah.
Can't follow my weird
I know
brain.
you guys aren't watching it, but there is a moment, at least in this game, where all three of the Union play All-Stars are on the field at the same
Yes.
time.
Yes, good. Um,
And
because I
who
feel
are
like I've
those
sat through it
players,
before.
Paul?
That would be Kai Wagner, Jacob Glesnes, and Ty Baribo.
There you go.
Kai, Ty,
Defense and offense.
Jacob. Um, so Saturday, July 26th, at home, Colorado. Colorado, Western Conference. How do we feel about Colorado? They're in seventh place according to the notes
Yeah.
that I believe E put in here.
Yep.
So
Well, they're
I think
West
this is a
Coast,
high
so
probability win for the Union.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
I would wager
Can I draw your
a
attention to the 1-1 at the half Montreal?
yeah,
Fair, fair.
but
I mean, it worked out, but
I would wager a delicious Wawa macchiato
oh boy.
coffee that the Union win
I
this
said a high probability. I didn't see a guarantee. Take it to the bank, sell your first home.
game.
So
I don't know.
macchiato. You
I
got a
mean
macchiato on it
their 5 game record is they only have 1 win, right?
in the
In the last
last
5
five.
games, they lost 2,
Gotcha.
drew 2. I mean, this is like a Montreal game. We should win this one. So hopefully we do that.
It is, once again, as a Philadelphia Union fan, disconcerting when analysts and talking heads start picking our teams to do well, because that immediately makes me worried about when the other shoe is going to drop.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I did watch the game preview on Apple TV, and Dax McCarty and I think it was Sasha Kleshchim were both talking about the Union are definitely favored for this one, and it's like, oh no, oh no. But then again, they should be favored. They're
Yeah,
playing well,
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're playing at home. They haven't lost a game in 10 games at home. They find good form there right now. So
yeah.
hopefully that continues.
It's just the muscle memory of seasons past.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh boy. Keegan. Keegan Rosenberry. The
Oh,
guy I always got
Oh, that's
confused
right.
with Fabian Herbers. I
Fabian
was just looking
Herbers,
to see
yeah.
if there are any familiar faces.
And
Uh
McMath was out there too.
Is he still playing?
yeah.
Don't know if he's still
Zach
playing.
Steffen's their keeper.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Also from the Philadelphia area at one point came up through the Union
That's right.
Academy.
Yeah, I remember after one of the games, he had a bunch of like friends or family on the sidelines waving him over. Well, we were
as
making
far as
jokes
Philly
during
goes.
the Houston game, just like Benny Olsen, just like yelling over to either the Union bench or whatever, just like like we'll fight in the parking lot after the game.
I mean, his resting face is "I will cut you."
I know, right?
So I don't
But
know.
hey, it was cool to see him hugging Bedoya after the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, that's very
Yeah.
cool.
The guy plays really hard, and he coaches his team much the same way, but
Hmm.
um, it feels a lot like a hockey player in that way. Like, on the ice, on the field, we might be going at each other, but afterwards we'll go get a beer together or
Yeah,
something like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh no, I like him.
yeah. I've
If it
always liked
sounds like I
Bengals.
don't like him, I like him.
No, it didn't. It didn't sound like that,
Okay,
Chrissy.
good. I was interesting. I didn't realize he was with DC just as long as Jim was with us. I
Yeah,
knew he was there for a while, but I was
yeah.
surprised. So that was interesting. But
If
anyway,
if Benny had a better coaching record, um, I would not be against him coming to Philly to coach. But I think right now his coaching is not, I think, where it needs to be a good fit for Philadelphia. By the way, I'm not saying
to your
Bradley's great.
standard.
I'm totally on board with Bradley.
No, I know
But
what
this
you're
is just
saying.
more just, I think personality wise, oh yeah, I'd
Yeah,
be totally cool with Benny Olson.
fans would like him.
Yeah.
But
Eventually they would turn, they would accept him if
yeah,
the team does well, especially.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you want to join in the conversation, you can reach us at our website, amorephillyunion.com. You can send us any questions or thoughts, comments, whatever you like, either via email or you can contact us via socials, particularly Instagram. We're pretty active on, I mean, we're active on all of them, but Instagram is easy to talk with. Um, you can email us at pod@amorephillyunion.com. On the socials, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and Bluesky, we are a More Philly Union. Um, Go check out our Spotify playlist, the official soundtrack of a More Philly Union. Um, just look for our logo with the little music notes on it, and I don't know, it's like 3 hours of music up there by now. I don't know.
Oh, it's a lot longer than that.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, and we got some swag if you want to represent. You can check out our online store. You can find it. Just you go to our website or visit our link tree, and it'll have the link there. Download and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. And while you're at it, go show some love to one of our favorite forces for good in the world. Nailed it. That is the Philadelphia Union Foundation. You can check them out at philadelphiaunionfoundation.org. So thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of More Philly Union. We are your hosts. I'm E.
I'm C.
And I'm Paul. Go Union!
Union.
And we just saw Paul just flinch. What did we miss?
Dun.
Okay. Well, oh, and hands go up. So
Okay. All right. We'll find out. We'll find out.
apparently there's a really good commercial on right now.
Exactly. Amazing commercials.
Hyundai, yes! All-wheel drive!
Uh,
This episode brought to you by Hyundai, by the way.
I can't pronounce that correctly ever since the
Saturday
Maya
Night
Rudolph
Live.
sketch.
The
It's
Hyundai
always
IA.
Hyundai. Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Um,